Shalom, WJC family. Time for our weekly Torah talk. A little something different for today's Torah talk. This week, I have had the opportunity to work remotely for a couple of days and to see Ramah Rockies, the summer camp, the sleepaway camp that the conservative movement is associated with. And that's associated with the conservative movement here in Colorado. And it's Thursday morning, and it's a beautiful morning here in the Rockies. As you can see, the sun is just coming up behind me, shedding a beautiful light on Prospector Mountain, the mountain behind me, which I had the privilege to climb yesterday. And I wanted to take a minute in this beautiful spot to record my weekly video for you. This week, the Parsha is Ki Tetzei. And in it, you'll find dozens and dozens of mitzvot. Moses has gotten to the point in his instructions to the people for when they go to the promised land, where, of course, he will not be privileged to join them. And he's telling them what to do when they get there. And it's a lot of particularistic kind of legal matter, and based on that is many dozens of our mitzvot. But in this part of the Torah, we read more of the mitzvot than in any other part of the Torah. I wanted to mention today that it's easy to get lost in all of these mitzvot. Right, the metaphor we often use, looking back at the sun again and the trees in front of them, right, that sometimes we fail to see the forest through the trees, right? We get so caught up in these individual and particularistic mitzvot that we forget why we do it. And so here in this beautiful setting, where I've gotten to be for a couple of days, I wanted to share a reminder that's in our tefillah, that's in our prayers every day. So I'm kind of on my way to morning prayers with my colleagues. So when we get in the morning prayers, the shacharit service, to the core part of the service, we start out with the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. Let us praise God, who's worthy of praise. And these are the first remarks we make after we read that. We say, Hameir la'aretz v'ledarim alecha b'rachamim. You illumine the world and its creatures with mercy. Standing here in the first sunlight, I certainly have a sense of that. Uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid maaseh bereshit. And in your goodness, day after day, you renew creation. Right? This sense that every day creation is coming anew, that somehow, however we think of God or holiness or spirit in the world, that every day there's a renewal that's happening with the sunrise. And then this line, one of my favorites in the tefillah, in the morning prayers, in our prayers in general, Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam bechachma asita mala haaretz kinyanecha. Right? How plentiful, or how great, rabu, how huge, literally many, but also vast, right, are your works, God. Your wisdom has fashioned them all. Ultimately, when we come to these mitzvot, we are asked to remember every day that the reason we do them is because there's something greater going on in the world than us. Now, everyone has different ideas of belief in God or how they see holiness in the world. Judaism obviously has a whole set of metaphors that we use to try and understand the nature of God. Sometimes the best way to do so is just to look around. And when you have the opportunity to recognize just how magnificent this world is, just how blessed we are to be able to be in it. And some of the mitzvot hint at this. Right, in Ki Tetzei, we'll read the mitzvah of Shiloach HaKein, right? If you're going to collect a bird's eggs, you need to shoo away the mother bird, because it would be cruel to do otherwise. And there's other mitzvot like this. You can't, when you're plowing your fields, you shouldn't strap together a donkey and an ox, because they work at different paces, and it's cruel to them. Even our holidays, all of our pilgrimage holidays, are somehow tied to the earth and what it bears for us, these harvest-related holidays. And so Standing here at Ramah Rockies, I wanted to remind us all, Mara Buma Secha Adonai, just how beautiful, how vast, how great are your works, Adonai, from the mountains to the forests, to the creatures, to the beautiful sun rising in front of me. May we all be blessed to have that sense of connection to the greater whole, that there's more going on in the world that we understand, and out of that sense of humility, that we follow these mitzvot, that we do what we can to connect when we can to this greater epic that is unfolding in front of us. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.